And by the way, I want to interrupt myself to say that we need a good adoption policy in the Adventist Church. In fact, in our own congregation, we need a good adoption policy. What is an adoption? What is that?
Taking one on as your own.
Responsibility of something.
Okay, taking on the responsibility of somebody else. Has anybody here ever adopted someone?
I have.
No, these two have. Okay, so adoption is taking on the responsibility of another person. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but we've got two very young ones in our church that need adopting. Are you aware of that? We've got two very young Christians in this class that need adopting. They're only a week old today.
It's so true.
Would you like to be adopted?
You gonna take me home with you?
It may not require that. Think about it, as we become children of God and we enter into His family, He calls us His children. Now, all of us here that are Seventh-day Adventists are older as Adventists than these two. They're the youngest two in our group, right? As Adventists. Wouldn't it seem appropriate that those with more information, that have understood it, that's been in the family longer, would help nurture the other younger ones? Sure. Okay. So, I'm not saying we have to take Ed home to adopt him, but it is imperative, though, that we be there for them, that we understand some of the trials that young Christians go through. There are difficulties. Satan works in tough ways to discourage people. He works before they're baptized to keep them from it. He works afterwards to say you did the wrong thing. You know, there's such a thing as buyer's remorse. The same thing can be true in Christianity. Satan can just hit people and say, did I do the wrong thing? Because everything lands on us. And the reality is, folks, Satan doesn't go after the people that already belong to him. Satan goes after the people that he's losing. So Ed and Ann may have more trouble now than they've ever had in their life. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, we already know it.
Yeah, you're already seeing it.
You're finding that out, are you?
Oh, yeah.
The reality is that in some ways is good news because it tells you you're on the right track and Satan's upset and frustrated.
Yep.
But you know, the good news is normally it would have upset me. I would have ranted and raved and yelled and said, why me? And this week, everything that's happened, I just go, yeah,
Power of God.
you know, just.
The power of God. Yep. When we rely on Him, it helps, doesn't it?
I don't even think about it. I just go, whatever, you know. Thank you, Jesus.
Keep this in mind too. You've been like this, and here's today. As we age, someday we're going to get old. Probably won't make it to there. But there's not a lot of years here. If you died here or here or here, it really isn't much. Because here's how long you're going to be in heaven. Now, where does it stop?
It doesn't.
Now, I keep telling people you can't get old in this life. Do you know why? Why can you not get old in this life?
Because Jesus keeps you young.
Because you'll die first. You can't get old because you're going to die. We're going to go to heaven and get old. We can be 100,000 years old and we'll say, wow, look how old I am.
It's just a day.
Just a day, yeah. And so how old is 100 here if we're going to live for thousands of years? Now that's old. Of course, we won't have the wrinkles and the dim eyes and the hard of hearing and all that. That won't go with old. It does here, but then it isn't old. So my point simply is, if we die 10 years younger than somebody else, if we have 100 million years in heaven, what's 10 years now? What does it really matter? There's only one thing that matters.
And what you do with those 10 years.
Are you going to be in this one
Right.
that never ends? That's what matters. So we live long enough to get into the group of God's kingdom, God's children. But let's not forget in this that we need to adopt our 2 young children in our church, to be a good example for them, pray for them, be there for them, and help them in any way they need.